The unbound archives. May their hands guide us. Object number 20. Rixa gas. You are trying to access a level 4 terminal. Enter your credentials and your designated passcode. Warning. Attempts to access information outside clearance will lead to severe punishment. You have been warned. Plus Tears of Achlys. Pulling up articles related to Tears of Achlys. 3 articles found. Conversation 2016 08 03 2216. Record number 159. Com time 2016 08 03 2216. Subjects Alexander Stallard and Alina White. Subjects walk in from an unimplanted hallway. Footnote. For reference, microphones, referred to as implants so as to confuse unintended viewers of the document, are placed in areas of high personal activity. As the subjects were using a less used wing of the station, not all of this conversation was caught. Oh, so what if it's dangerous, Alex? This entire goddamn hellhole is a risk of its own. Plus, isn't your little group meant to keep the hub safe anyways? A. I know you're not stupid enough to believe the press. We've covered up at least 7 disappearances this week alone. We knew someone would catch up on where those mysterious deaths were coming from eventually. Quite frankly, I don't want you in on that, since you're the only actual scientist we have right now. We need you to be safe, not in bits and pieces. Oh. If you don't want me in on your business, keep Dendraga safe then. We're doing fine, despite the fact that people just, I don't know, disappear every once in a while. Come to think of it, why are so many disappearing from under your protection? Aren't you guys supposed to protect us? 7 deaths is what we got in 6 months, not a whole week. A. Audible sigh. Alina, you know what I meant by disappearances. Oh. Oh? No what? A. Wait, no, I wasn't. I shouldn't have told you. Oh, interrupting. If you're referring to what I think you're referring to, yeah, I know. I'm not going to go around ratting you off. But. A. But what? Oh, you need to answer my question. The conversation falls silent for 5 seconds. A. Gah, fine. If it'll keep you quiet. Oh, alright then. Tell me this, Alex. Why are you working for these guys? The Unbound, I mean. You joined the army to defend freedom, or whatever it was the government said you'd do, and I know you're actually in it because you believe in those values above all else. In a way, my question is, why here? Why this group? These people? They're not exactly, you know. The conversation falls silent once more, this time for 10 seconds. A. I figured this was coming. Look, I wanted to help. My wish to help people hasn't diminished in the slightest. I just didn't think the people over at the Meg were doing a good job. You know, like what Diana believed. She was right. Is right. The Meg just... they want to help people. Or at least I think they do. But that's besides the point. Their issue is that they don't know what to do. Not at all. This place isn't much better, to be honest. But they have the implantus. They want to help us survive above anything else. I can also help make them better. Hell, I'm the general now, with a capital G. I'm second in command. So if I was to help people, I've got the power to do it. I can actually do what I've always wanted to do. The room falls silent once more, this time for 7 seconds. Alex's breaths are noticeably shallower. Oh, I see. That's really thoughtful of you, Alex. I respect that. A. Thanks, Alina. It means a lot to me. Oh. Actually, I want to help, Alex. A. Huh? You actually... Oh. Yeah, I think I may have an idea on how exactly I could help you. I don't really need much, but if you can get me... Actually, let me get closer. I don't want anyone overhearing this. The subjects speak in whispers that can't be picked up by the microphones. This conversation lasts for 1 minute and 36 seconds. A. Are Are you sure this would help me more than... Oh, interrupting. Yes, I do. You know me, don't you? I wouldn't suggest anything like that unless I really thought it would be more beneficial than... Subject's voice trails off. Hey, I'll set something up for you. Or try to, at least. It won't... It's not gonna be much, so you have to be careful. Please promise me you won't get hurt. Oh, I won't. Hey, thanks, Helena. It feels like a weight's been lifted. I'm glad to have you by my side. I need to go, or I'll be late for Jesper's meeting. I'll see you later. Subject A leaves room. End of relevant transcript. Object description Achlys. Important notice. Information regarding the tiers of Achlys is not to be declassified to any UEC agent/civilians under clearance level 4. Attempting such an action will result in swift punishment, the severity of which is decided by the scales of Themis according to the gravity of the offense. The article below is a brief description of solely the tiers of Achlys. This means that information regarding where exactly it is stored and how it is to be utilized is not included with the information present in this document. Despite this, the omitted information can still be obtained through the teaching of an approved supervisor, which can be requested by personnel with the sufficient clearance, i.e., you, the recipient of this document, if you are indeed the one who was intended to receive it. For conciseness, this means that for all intents and purposes, the attached description is meant simply to be a reminder of Achlys' physical properties. The tiers of Achlys are, under no pretext, to be used as a weapon lest the situation is dire enough to call for their use, and only when the threat is verifiably human. This object is not to be used upon first contact unless the situation is in a crisis. Classified. For the HDF eyes only. Object ID 20216. Name. The tiers of Achlys. Nickname. Achlys. Use clearance. Level 4. Intended usage. Disposal. Object description. The tiers of Achlys, referred to simply as Achlys for brevity, is the name given to a chemical solution used in vital, non-entity hostile situations. It can be found only in a liquid or gaseous state, as no solid instances of this object have been synthesized yet. In its liquid form, Achlys is a semi-transparent, brown, water-based solution. It has a pH level of 2, which means that it is acidic in nature. The solution is harmless in this form, save for when it makes contact with bare skin or if it is ingested, at which point its volatile effects are felt. When Achlys is dispersed via a nozzle, it turns into a gaseous mist, which has highly potent and hazardous qualities. Achlys gas has the anomalous quality to both detect heat and move towards it. This volatile effect makes it more nascent, and makes victims more likely to be affected by its effects rather than they would be if it was close to them in its liquid form. The reason as to why Achlys turns into a gas only when dispersed through a nozzle is thus far unknown. The heat detection of Achlys is derived from Unit EN06's ability to spread itself via bodily fluids. However, Achlys gas is more potent than the entity's own viscera. Postscript. A message from Marshall McNamara. If you're reading this, then you're going to use this weapon. The moral thing for me to say is that it's a terrible idea and that you shouldn't. But we've crossed that line far ago, haven't we? This object's very inception has left a trail of blood dripping behind it, and it shall continue to do so, now that it is in our clutches. Blood into blood. I suppose that's why red was a perfect fit to don on our uniforms. Our history is shrouded in mystery as much as it is shrouded in blood. This sense of unknowing is not one that was adopted with the passage of time, but rather one that was purposefully manufactured to keep thousands of watchful eyes veiled under the guise of a greater good. Ideally, you would never have that veil lifted off your head. Truth be told, it would be preferable to not know what lies beneath it, but it's too late to back out of this now. The usage of Achlys that has been permitted to you is seldom given to anyone, and even now it is tentative. Your judgment may not be as ironclad as you think it is, and you are well aware that you may cause unnecessary harm to others when proceeding with what you have requested of us. Hell, I say this as if you don't intend to cause harm, but what other reasons are there to justify this thing's use? I digress, however. All I can recommend is to stay vigilant in what you do, and, as inhumane as it sounds, stay apathetic during it. It's best if you believe you're in the right in situations like this. It's the only way some of us can sleep at night. May their hands guide us. McNamara. Meg Archive. Object 20. Object number 20. Rixa gas. Description. Rixa gas is an extremely dangerous bioweapon which has seen common usage by the unbound in warfare with other groups. The gas is light and red, comparable to carbon monoxide in its consistency, and spreads across a given medium in tendril-like patterns towards the location of nearby sources of relative heat to its surroundings. The synthesizing of Rixa gas is, as of now, poorly understood, but unreliable accounts state that the gas is a mixture of sludge from Entity 15 and an unknown solvent, theorized to be either cashew water or liquid pain. Thus far, no natural deposits of Rixa gas have been found throughout the Backrooms, but its creation/harvesting is attributed to the UEC due to the fact that they are the group known to utilize it the most. Image caption: a digital recreation of what Rixa gas may look like in motion. The properties of Rixa gas manifest themselves when it is inhaled. Immediately upon inhalation, the victim will fall to the wretched cycle at a rate much more rapid than that caused by Entity 15's regular bodily fluids, with a full transformation occurring within 50 seconds of exposure. Known reactions to the gas during this period of transformation include rapid muscle tissue loss, the flaking of the skin up to the papillary layer in the dermis, and the rapid loss of blood from bodily orifices. Rixa gas's effects on entities is unknown, as all recorded uses of the gas have been on humans. As of the writing of this document, there has only been one survivor of a Rixa gas attack. A record of their account has been attached to this document for posterity. Additional info: an interview of the survivor, footnote, a retired member of Meg Regiment Quick Match, they have requested to remain anonymous, and Mux Harper Vives of Meg Regiment Lifeline. Start log. Vives. Alright, Anonymous. I would like to begin by saying that due to the traumatic nature of the ordeal you've endured, I wish to stress that should you, at any moment, wish to abort this interview, you may simply tell us to do so. If the gathering of information means we have to harm someone's well-being, then that person's health takes priority over the information we would gain from it. We don't want to have you relive any of the day's events after all. Survivor. No. It's alright. I'm just glad I have the option. Just need to talk about this. Possibly save a few people's lives in the process. I told you that we'd do this, so let's just do this. Vives. Well then, you may take a seat. The survivor and Vives take seats, parallel to each other. Vives. So, begin your account. I'll be taking notes while you're speaking. Survivor. It's alright. Well, I guess on that day, the expedition we were assigned to was supposed to be a small scouting mission. Level 76. The team and I had just dropped in from level 7, but we immediately knew there was an issue. With the level, I mean. Vives. Issue? Survivor. Wretches. Tons of them. From all the reports of the place, there should have only been those weird spider things or whatever. But there they were. Vivace. Did you notice anything about these wretches? Survivor. Oh, most definitely. They were not as smart as most people are used to them being, you know? Those things are supposed to get smarter in groups, but that wasn't happening here. They were all basically just sitting ducks. Didn't even realize we'd notched a few arrows in our bows until they had about 10 of them in their guts. Vivace. That's peculiar. Would you say that, besides the presence of wretches, obviously, there was anything strange about the level leading up to the sewer hub? Survivor. Nah. There was a pause. Vivace. Alright, I guess this is where the heavier stuff comes in. Do you still wish to go through with this, Anonymous? Survivor. Yeah, I do. Vivace. Right. Then, you may continue. Survivor. Okay, so I'd say we were around 200-ish meters away from the hub when these guys show up. They all had gas masks on, bodies covered fully in hazmat suits. Don't ask me where they got them. They had these cans, like bug spray. Like, you know them. Those pesticide bottles with the tube and the spitter thing. One of those in each of their hands. There were 3 of them, I think. My memory's not good with those kind of details. Interviewee pauses a second. Vivace. Anonymous? Survivor. Yeah, I'm fine. I just need to remember something. Right, so we stop, gesture to say hi, show we're friendly, but they don't return the gesture. They fired that stuff onto us, and it moved so fast. They fled the scene, leaving us there with it. Probably because they knew what it did. I saw the rest of the guys sniff it and suddenly began wailing, so I covered my mouth, trying to keep it out. I was at the rear. I had the time to react. The others, they didn't have the time to... didn't even get to react. Vivace. How fast would you say the substance moved about? Survivor. Like a meter a second. It looked like it was trying to grab us. It had like these tentacles of gas that reached out, trying to envelop us. Then the fucking numbness kicked in. I didn't even feel anything. Just warmth. Warmth and numbness. I didn't even realize my skin was peeling off until I heard the shots. God, I hope my team was numb when the shots went off. Vivace. Anonymous? Are you alright? Survivor. Why did I run? I should have been there too. I don't deserve to be here. My team, they gurgled and screamed and I fucking ran like a coward. I didn't even try to help them. My own I can't. Rapid breaths can be heard. Vivace stands and holds their hands. Vivace. Anonymous? Anonymous, look at me. Look at me. Look at my hands. See me holding your hands? You're in a hospital. I'm here to help. You know me, Anonymous. It's Harper. You're safe. Survivor. Where? Vivace. You're in beta. Anonymous. Level 11. It's safe. You're safe. Breathe. The survivor's breaths can be heard steadying. Vivace. I'm sorry this happened to you, Anonymous. No one deserved what happened to you. Come on. Let's get you to bed. Okay? In log.